That's Blair Morgan from his new album Sunday River, featuring cover art using a photo taken by Blair's wife as the Kiwi couple was hiking in New England. Here is Blair with more of the story.
It's a place on the outer reaches of Maine, Marty, on the border with New Hampshire. And we were there about October 2022. We did this kind of a New England kind of excursion, if you like, through Maine and New Hampshire and Massachusetts. And I didn't know I didn't know that picture was being taken. And after my wife took it, I think the next day she said, "Oh shit, I think I really got a good picture of you there, and then maybe that could be an album cover."
Right.
And so that's kind of stuck.
Now it is.
I mean, I've always liked, I guess, symbolism of rivers and stuff. I mean, one of my favorite albums is probably The River. So, I mean, that was in my head, I think.
Have you seen the new Bruce Springsteen film?
I have, yes. I have.
Do you have thoughts?
Well, if I mention my wife first, she thought it was much better than the Dylan movie. I was suspending my judgment a bit. I thought 2/3 of the Dylan movie was really good, except the last third. This Bruce movie, I'm just not sure they had the right guy as Bruce. That's my thing. And my mind cast back to that movie Inside Llewellyn Davies. It was 10 years ago with Oscar Isaac. And I thought, now he could have been the guy.
Right. Well, I have to disagree completely with your wife.
Yeah.
I love the Dylan movie. Didn't care for this movie, but there you go. To each his own.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a great album, Nebraska.
Oh, definitely.
About that.
No, not arguing about that. I just couldn't get past all the. So here's Bruce at the top of his game. He's sold millions. Everybody loves him, and he's all depressed. It's like, get over it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's all in his book too. Of course, he really demystified himself during that, and yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, you talk about a couple of pretty cool characters, John Prine and Warren Zevon, in your John and Warren song. So you obviously have a love of those guys. What inspired you to write that?
John and Warren once roamed this place, an eye for the detail, the human race. May as well have been from outer space. Now John and Warren are gone. John and Warren aren't in the Hall of Fame. Should be renamed, a room full of shame for not recognizing the very names. Now John and Warren are gone.
Well, I do every year or so. There's a John Prine tribute gig here in Otatahi, and I've done that every year since he's died on the anniversary of his death. And as I was approaching April, which is the anniversary kind of time of I think it was last year, I just started thinking about John Prine, and I thought, well, who else do I like that I'd like to have around every once in a while just to tap into to see how things are going? And Warren Zevon's the obvious one in my mind, just both, just their clarity of writing and sometimes humor, black humor, cynicism, the whole thing, the whole human emotion range. And and then the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that was another big driver. It was like, well, why aren't these people in that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, at least Warren's in there now, isn't he? Or is it John?
Yeah. Yes, but it's influence category or something. I don't know if you look at the man, if he's a good influence. I think it's the work, So
oh well. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I love them. I like them both. I just and then I wanted to distill it down into an essence of a John Prine song, which is 3 chords, and it's quite hard to write a 3-chord song. It's hard to write a song. It's hard to write one just with 3 chords, and in your head you're only going to use 3 chords. So you've got to come up with something. So I set myself a challenge.
Yep,
yeah.
Very good. Right.
Yeah.
And you seem to like to write about places. There's Denniston and Lisbon and all these things. So do you do a lot of traveling, and do you have a pad with you at all times, ready to write down lyrics?
I definitely carry a notepad around, and obviously these days your phone, but I tend to like the tactile thing with words and so on a page. And I don't do a lot of traveling, but when I do it, things kind of stick, I think. And the Lisbon was again post that American, the New England thing. I did happen to go over there to Spain and Portugal and love that part of the world. And then, no, this writing, I know it really is a people and places album, and the places are fairly much informed by here in South Island, Te Waipounamu, and the West Coast. The West Coast, there's family connections and things that comes through on a couple of songs. Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right. And so you got a band playing with you called Florida Man. Who are they?
Yeah. I didn't name them. I mean, I'm not really in the band. I'm a transient. But they're mining. I think their hero is Jimmy Buffett.
Okay.
And so they wear hats with crocodiles on them and tractor type T-shirts and things like that. But they mine very much a country rock vein that I love, and right. I kind of knew a couple of them and beforehand, and then they formed this band, and they're out there around the town, around the traps, and yeah, they're great guys. And I was really lucky. Well, I had the conversation. It's like, well, I've got these songs, and I'd like to do this, and would you be interested? And they were on board, so it's great. Yeah, they're good guys.
All right. And so the album opens with Denniston, which you name check Jordan Luck, and I assume there's a story behind that.
A Westport Hotel and Jordan Luck is outside my window. What the is he heading for Denniston? Is he heading for Denniston? Past the incline to travel a weary road. The past has a habit of moving slow when you're driving to Denniston. You're driving to Denniston.
Well, Jordan, we were in Westport, and it was a Boxing Day night. It was a funny night. Everything's closed down,
right?
And no disrespect to the West Coast, but it's. On a Boxing Day night on the West Coast, still, you can imagine it's kind of almost tumbleweed blowing down the main street. And we were just there, and then all of a sudden he walks past the motel window on a Boxing Day night. And I was like, goodness me, wonder what he's doing here. And then that led to, we were there, and we went up to Denniston the next day. And I think one thing led to another with that one. And it's a fascinating part of the country, isn't it, over there? And I'd really like to get up there and make a video. That's kind of a name for early next year if I can.
Okay. Yeah. You got something to look forward to there?
Yeah. And for the track, it was the obvious one to start off, because just the way it kind of blasts in with the harmonica, and Jack, who mixed the record, he really got the harmonica tone right. And I thought, oh yeah, that's it's almost like a call to action sort of thing. Yeah.
Yep. And do you have a lot of songs in the can waiting to be recorded, or are you writing all the time, or is this kind of a culmination of everything you got up to this point?
It's there's still about another 3 and 4. There's probably an EP's worth, but I'd like, now that I've done this, I'd like to get out and do another album like this. But I think that'll take at least another year or so. It's quite a major process to do this end to end. Yeah.
I want to flood the market.
Overexposure, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, and so tell me a little bit about Senior, and it's about Blair Allchurch. For folks who don't know, who is he, and why does he deserve a song written about him?
This thing ain't easy. This thing is so wrong. Here we are with you now, playing on your song. We know our love is stronger than an early death. So we look up to you now and pay our last respect. Senior.
Well, Blair is was an iconic figure around Christchurch right from the 70s. He was very much part of the local scene, characterised by, I think, the same haircut from late 60s, 1970s through to his untimely death in 2022. I first crossed paths with him in the record industry. I was working in record retail in the late 80s, and he was the rep for Warner Brothers.
Okay.
You can imagine Warner Brothers have he had such a great catalogue. He had Atlantic and Warner's and all this great music. So it sold itself.
Yep.
And he was always in bands, and I was playing a little bit at that time, and I ended up joining occasionally in his band at the time, which was called 40 Blue Fingers. Then we lost touch. I moved away, and we reconnected when I moved back down here, which was in 2017, 2018, and we got together in a duo. He's an amazing slide guitarist. It's unfortunate there's not a lot of his stuff that's ever been recorded, because the guy could play bottleneck like pretty much no other around that I could see. And so, and he was just a larger than life personality. And his untimely death, we were due to play a gig. He ended up in hospital on a Friday. We went to play a gig on a Sunday, and he had a couple of strokes, and that was it. It was all over. And so we never got to play that gig. And I just wanted to put my thoughts together into a song if I could. And so I came up with that one, did a very basic demo type thing of it for a memorial show that was on in December of that year. It was a few weeks later, because he passed away in November. And this time I just wanted to do it properly with these guys. And I think it came out, I'm really pleased with it. And the Florida Man guys have played. They really pull out all the stops on that one, because we all knew it.
Who's singing the BVs on that? You got a couple of female vocalists, it sounds like.
Well, I've got Quinn, who's the main sideman from Florida Man, and his voice is he can sing those high BVs. And,
okay.
And then we've got Sasha Kirkwood, who went through ARA with Quinn and some of the Florida Man guys too. She did performance music, and I hadn't met her before she arrived on the day, and we worked out the vocal parts, and then I just felt, hearing her, I thought, well, I think she could probably just let loose at the end there. So we built that in with the key change and kind of let her go. And so that's Sasha.
Very good. All right. I just figured out who everybody is. And you got a gig coming up at Space Academy on the 9th. What's going to happen there?
What's going to happen is we've got Luca Joas, who I think you if you haven't talked to Luca, I think you've had one of his videos there.
Okay, I'm sure we have.
Recently, Marty, and he's a great young guy down here from Wellington and from Christchurch. He runs a video production company called Neato Productions.
Okay.
And he did a couple of the videos on the record thus far. Anyway, he's playing support, so he'll be on support, and then I'll come out and do a few, and then Florida Man en masse will come out and we'll play the tracks from the album. And it's a mid-afternoon show.
Oh.
And so we don't have to...
Early to bed.
Well, no, we don't have to compete with the Cowboy Junkies and Dave Dobbin, and they're around.
Well, that's always good, yeah.
Later that evening. So we've taken that choice away, and hopefully we might warm people up if they want to come and have a
Oh, sounds cool.
Pre-gig sort of thing. Yeah, so that's happening. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. It's a good time.
Now, another song I wanted to touch on was Richmond Ranges, which I think is you and Jackson on that, not the whole band.
The Richmond Ranges sit behind the scene right now, but the child can look through the ever-furrowed brow. You know it's something that happens a lot. Nothing to do but fire that parting shot. Oh, the Richmond Ranges provide the wheel and plow. The Richmond Ranges sit behind me now.
That's right. That's me. It was Jackson's studio. It's called Levi Recording Studios here, and Jackson added keyboards, some strings, and percussion to the record, to the album. And on that particular track, it's just me, guitar and harmonica voice, and then I throw in a 12-string part, and it's just a look back to, I grew up in early, showing my age, but early 70s. We lived for a time in Nelson on my grandfather's house on the outskirts of Richmond. It was very rural at the time, but now it's not. But it was a great time. I look back on it and I just think, some of these things kind of are in your head. And then, of course, the backdrop of that range of hills would seem a bit more than that, right behind you. Yeah, that's what that's about. Yeah.
What do you think
Yeah.
most fondly about that time in that place?
Oh, I think the sun and all the fruit trees and there were kind of horses around and lots of, as I say, it was rural,
Yep.
I don't know. Does Dylan use the word bucolic? Maybe it's bucolic's the word.
If he doesn't, he should. He's used a lot of words.
Yeah.
Over the years. Yeah, he's probably gotten around to it. I have to look it up now. All
Yeah.
right. So are you thinking about the next record now that you finally got this out?
Yeah. I'm thinking about it. I think do these shows this month. Look at the dentist and the video, and look at working certainly with Jackson again, and Jack, who mixed it, and also Florida Man. Of those guys, I'd love to work with again. No, I love doing it, Marty. It's a good, music. You got to do it, as you know.
I've heard.
And it's a great outlet to put it out in a tangible form too, like this. It's good.
Yeah. Yep. And do you have a podcast as well about
Yes.
Americana? What's that all
Yes.
about?
Well, that came out of, I talked to the folks at Plains Media when John and Warren came out back in March, and in the course of that conversation, at the end of it, the host there said, "Oh, you talk a lot about music and so on. Maybe you should look at doing a show." And so that came out from that, and then I was talking to Louise about it, and I said, and they said it's best to do it with a co-host.
Yep.
And I was talking to Louise about that. And I said, the obvious one to do that would be Blair, and he's not around. And then she said, "Oh, I'll definitely, I'll do it with you." And so she's kind of the straight person to me rambling on, and she stops me rambling on.
Oh yeah, you need to.
You need that.
Yep.
And she doesn't say as much as what I do. And,
Gotcha. All right, that helps.
And she doesn't really like the same music I do. So we have this tension. That's good. And we're married, so it's kind of a more creative tension.
It can go either way.
So we do that. Yeah, we do that every fortnight. The Real Americana with Louise and Blair. Yeah.
And what are you featuring on your next show? Do you know?
Well, we're actually doing a couple of episodes on my album, and then we're actually going to do a deep dive about Nebraska too, talking about Bruce, because it's the flavor of the month, isn't it?
Yep.
And then I'm hanging out to do a live Love It show. That's in my mind. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like you got the Americana thing down going. Ever been to Nashville? Have you gone to Americana Fest?
I haven't. I bet you have. I'd love to.
I just went once, but I had a great time. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. No, absolutely. It's on the bucket list. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Got to have something to look forward to. All righty. Well, thank you for spending time talking to me about this. Good luck with the show on the 9th at the Space Academy, and good luck with the record, and look forward to see what you got next.
Oh, look, appreciate it, Marty. Thanks for your support.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram, and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.